Hello, everyone, and welcome to Awakening Adventures, where we are hearing real stories from real people about their own spiritual awakening and what they were guided to do after they woke up. My name is Venus Castleberg, and I use my gifts to help real estate agents clear the energy from stuck homes so that they can sell with greater ease. My guest today, how exciting is this? Heather Eck is a multimedia abstract artist and writer and intuitive artist and painter. Heather interprets people, places, and experiences through color, a condition known as synesthesia. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, cool. And I love this. And I actually would just love, Heather, why don't you tell us a little bit more about what that is?
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here with you. So I have something called synesthesia, which basically means that the senses in your brain get crossed. And so there are over 80 different forms of it, everything from sound to color, sound to shape. There's something called mirror touch synesthesia. It's essentially where one of your senses, like sound, gets flipped or twisted into something else in your brain. So for me, when I listen to music or I taste something or smell something, I see it almost like a shape, a color, or even a choreography in my brain, or like in my mind's eye, I guess. And what I discovered a few years ago was that when I met people, I would see the same thing. It would sort of show me a little bit of who that person was through just their energy. And so I have had this my whole life. I think it's been there with me since I was a little kid. I just didn't know what it was, and I just assumed that everybody had it. But turns out that's not so. There's only like 4% of the population that have a form of it.
Wow, that's cool. I had never heard of it, but like I'm like, oh, there's something about it that like kind of like niggled me a little bit. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
what is that, right?
What is that?
So
Yeah.
I've never done this, but for some reason it just popped to ask you, would you mind doing just a mini like reading of me? You've never done that before, but like how does it show how does it show up? Can you like, give somebody an example of like how that would happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, what happens when I read somebody's energy is that I sort of put your energy on like a jacket. I have clairsentience too, so I feel very strongly, and the sensations in my body sort of tell me a little bit about what might be happening for that person. So right before you asked me, I felt my mouth water, and that usually means that there's an aspect of your spirit that is thirsting for more, that there's something that's bubbling up for you that you're like, I gotta have this. I cannot wait to have this, whatever it is. It's like bubbling up inside of you. And then I felt a little bit in my tummy area, which could just mean that there's some sort of identity adjustment or shift happening for you where you're starting to see or you want people to see you in a different way. So usually when I do a reading for somebody, I will see particular colors for them, and then those colors become like kind of like a prescription of what to work with so that you can activate and sort of balance out those energy centers a little bit. So I'll pause and just ask if any of that resonated with you at all.
Cool. Yeah. Wow. I put myself in the hot seat, guys. So, yeah, I have been. As you know, I'm the home whisperer, and I've been helping real estate agents for a while now. And I created my own system called the vibrational flow system. And what I'm working on right now is actually creating a very supportive and nurturing course teaching people the vibrational flow method, but it's very different for me. I've had courses, I even had my own psychic university before, but I've never put this much thought and energy into who am I serving and how am I helping them and what am
That,
I, how am I helping them transform, right?
yeah.
Where do I want
You
them to
know what,
go?
Venus, too, your camera just turned off. I don't know if you can
Oh,
see.
I can't.
So that's so interesting to me. So I wonder if there's some aspect of you that feels nervous um, about seeing yourself this way or letting other people see you in a different way because your camera literally turned off, right? And it's doing it now.
My camera has actually been giving me difficulties. I'm like, I don't, yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. This is
That's
great.
so
This is a great
interesting.
example, guys. Like this is like
I always think everything that happens during a reading is for a particular reason. So
for
that's
sure.
interesting. Yeah. So you could work with blues and yellows
Okay.
to help support that, to help support your voice, to help support your authenticity and your truth, and also to support that shift in identity. Just to say, like, okay, this is how I want to show up, and this is how I want people to see me, and how I want to be seen, how I want to see myself too.
Wow, beautiful. Wow, that's amazing. So, you guys, she actually is offering, and I know we're a little ahead, we're going to go back, but she does have a really cool free gift at the end, and we will tell you about that. How to connect with her. I highly, obviously, it works. That was really cool. Thank you, Heather, for sharing
Yeah,
that.
thank you. Thank you.
So, how did all this start for you?
I was um I was always like a really creative kid. I think it came very naturally to me. Color came very naturally to me. I just didn't know in what form to use it, but I was this like kid that always wanted to change their bedroom. Like I want a different color now. I want a different comforter. I was constantly asking my parents to change the colors in my room. And I was always noticing colors in movies and TV and things. I'd be like, wow, everybody in that scene's wearing blue. That's interesting. What's that about? Stuff that people would probably like not really notice. And then when I was always on a spiritual path, but I would kind of step off of it for a little bit and then come back on throughout college and even into my professional career. And we had moved from New Jersey down to North Carolina, and I was starting a new job. And I was working with a spiritual teacher when we got here. And I really, I had a great job. It was phenomenal. Benefits and the pay and everything was just so perfect. But I also felt like I was in prison every day. I felt like I had these golden handcuffs on. And so as I was working, I was starting to develop some spiritual practices, and people would come into my office to talk to me, and I would start to see their aura around them. And I was like, oh, this is weird. What's happening here? And then all of a sudden I started to like receive colors for people, like two or three colors. And I was like, oh, I wonder why I'm hearing green for them. What's going on with them? And then I started to ask some questions. I was an HR manager. So I was like, how do I invite this conversation in? But it was almost like I had hung an invisible signpost outside my office because people would come in, they'd be like, hey, I had a dream last night. Can I tell you about it? And I was like, yes, let's talk about it. And, and
That's
then I
fun.
just sort of became like the spiritual person. And then I put it all together and started painting people's energies and telling them what I was hearing for them as the painting was happening. And so that sort of like became what my friend Amy calls a spirit portrait. And so that's kind of how it all started. And then I left corporate back in 2019.
Wow. So how was that for you? Like leaving corporate and going into like, okay, I'm going to do this new thing. Like,
Mhm.
tell me about that.
Terrifying and triggering and all the things. I mean, I still
You
get
had to work,
triggered
you had
by
to use
it.
color therapy on yourself, I'm sure.
I have to all the time. Actually, it's kind of like the cobbler's children have no shoes. Like I have to remind myself to use the work that I teach people to. But it was really scary. It still is scary, especially because the economy is so roller coaster ride and art is unpredictable. And so I really am leaning hard on my faith to be led in the right direction and to stop making decisions and just let God light the path. Otherwise, I spiral out of control.
Yeah, good idea. Very good idea. But is this your like your full thing time gig? Like, did you just let go of the job altogether?
Yeah, I initially left HR altogether, and then I've had some side jobs here and there to help supplement. And so my dream is to be able to do all of this work full time, but I'm still supplementing right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, which guys, if you're watching this and you're like, yeah, you have some gifts and you're thinking, oh, I really want to like leave my corporate job. I'm gonna tell you, don't maybe necessarily let go of it all at once.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
like following your heart and following your gifts doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be like abundantly wealthy right away. So,
Immediately.
yeah, immediately. It's not going to happen instantly. So you do need to like take care of yourself. You still need to feed yourself and home yourself and like, right? So, and
Yep.
I will say for me personally, like I went through this a lot because I'd like work and then I'd like, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm just doing this. And then I'd be like, and then I'd struggle and I'd push and I'd force. Having a comfort job is what my mentor calls it. Have a comfort job that allows
Hmm.
you to do what you love, and then you'll make money from it. When you will, but it's just allowing yourself to have the time for it to develop and to take off, and so um
Yep.
yeah, so just the little encouragement, because I know a lot of people are like, I'm just going to rip the band-aid off, and it's like, maybe be a little more gentle with
A
yourself.
little bit more gentle. I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah,
I
yeah.
agree.
But that's great. You have some side gigs so that you can do what you love. That's great. So tell me
Yep.
a little bit more about the spirit portraits.
Yeah. I sort of think that every painting that I have made is kind of like a spirit portrait in some ways. I do custom portraits for individuals that are like they're one on, kind of like what I did with you, where I would sit with your energy or take a picture of you and meditate on it and go, what colors are coming through for you? And then I'll sit down and start to work on your portrait. And then we do a reveal call where we hop on a Zoom and I show you your painting and tell you what the messages are that came through. And then with larger pieces behind me, like a bigger abstract, is sort of like its own spirit portrait in itself because it reflects a particular energy or message that comes through at a higher level, or even something where I might listen to a song and go, oh, this song is so beautiful. I want to paint what the energy of the song looks like. And so that's sort of how I spend my time when I'm painting is tuning into energy, no matter where it comes from, I guess.
That's great. So would you say, it sounds like it, but would you say for most of your life you've been kind of visual, like you've seen things visually? Yeah.
Yeah. I also think, we talk about your spiritual gifts like claircognizance or clairsentience. I think looking back, we have that gift of hindsight to look back in your childhood. And I think so many of us have gifts that develop during your childhood or that you have this natural curiosity about something or you just drawn to something. And for me, it was always art. It was always music. And I often felt like I just knew things. I didn't have to be told. It just sort of like understood what it was. And I think that was claircognizance that was developing in me. And then strong clairsentience, which made me a very sensitive child. I had a lot of digestive issues. I had a lot of throat issues. It was like I was picking up on what was happening around me and didn't quite understand how to digest it or how to even communicate it. And so I look back now and think, oh, I must have just been really like highly sensitive. I must have been just a really sensitive kid. And then as you grow up, you sort of, pack it up and stuff it way, way down until you have that little, like the awakening, right? Where you're like, I got to do something different. This isn't
Something
working.
different. Yeah.
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 So, and what was that switch for you? What was the thing that was just like, I have to do something different here?
I really was doing well in my job. I was just getting promoted. I was making more money than I had ever made in my life. I had just gotten my coaching certification. It was like the sky was the limit, it felt like in this job. But I literally hated it. I hated it to a degree that I would drive into work every day listening to Eminem, like trying to pump myself up to go in. And it was the sort of thing where I would drive up and instantly in my gut just be like wrenched, just, ugh. It wasn't the people or anything. It was just that my soul was so tired. I was like, this isn't it. And so I went and did a spa day with my friend who I'd done my coaching certification with, and then went to the dealer and picked up a new car. It was like the day of all days where you're like, this is amazing. And I got home that night and had a full-blown panic attack, thought I was having a heart attack, ended up in urgent care. My blood pressure was through the roof, and it was sort of like I had to decide at that point whether or not I was going to allow this job to kill me because I really felt like it was going to kill me if I stayed there,
Mm.
or if I was going to choose a different path. And so I was already I think I was painting at the time or was thinking about doing something. I'd kind of been presented with both a an art show and a promotion on the same day and sort of felt in my body that the promotion felt really restrictive and tight and exhausting, even though it came with a lot more money, versus the art show being given an opportunity to show my work in a public space for the first time at a bar for a First Friday event. And I was like, this is amazing. And I felt like this is great. And so that sort of became the beginning of the end of my corporate career because I think at that point I decided I have to follow what feels good to me.
Right.
And that job just did not feel good to me, despite its beautiful benefits.
Right. Yeah. And that can be tough because that's kind of the trick, right? It's like, oh, we're going to make this look really good over
Mhm.
here. How bad do you want this
How
over
bad
here?
do you want it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, okay. So when you were first starting or this was all happening, what do you wish maybe that you could have gone back and told yourself or wish that you would tell people that maybe are going through something similar right now?
I think that it is being an entrepreneur, being a business owner can be really challenging and it can also be really rewarding. I th I think the thing that spirals me away from my purpose is focusing on what other people are doing and comparing my journey to somebody else's. And I got to tell you, like, I have to constantly remind myself to like rein it in. Like, that's not you, rein it in. And so I think you have to, not to use a marketing term, but like find your unique selling like what makes you unique in your business and just be yourself. I think the best thing that you can do is just be 100% authentically who you are and don't try to, market your way out of your gifts because I think that that's what I've done. I would say like have like lost years of business thinking about, well, let me do it the way this person's doing it instead of tuning into your gifts, tuning into your intuition, talking to God about it and saying like, okay, well, actually, yeah, why would you give me this gift if you didn't want me to use it? So please show me how to use it in the way that is the simplest, easiest, and most clear.
I love that. And be specific, folks. It is helpful to be specific.
So
If
true.
you're
So
kind of
true.
like wishy-washy and like broad, super broad, you'll get super broad
Yeah.
answers.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the way it felt for me too. That day that I got the promotion and I got the art show, I felt like the universe was handing me a menu and was saying, choose.
Yep.
And I was irritated by that. And my teacher said, "You're sending mixed messages out. You're not being clear on what you want." And I was like, "Well, how do we get more clear? I don't like this. I want to be clear."
Totally. Yep. Thank you for that. That's great. So what would you say maybe have been your biggest struggles since making that choice, and
Mhm.
how did you overcome them?
Yeah, oh, that's a great question. I think the biggest struggle I think has been honestly, the comparison game, especially as an artist, as you look at, social media is so prevalent and artists, there's so many of us out there. I think for a long time, I've sort of tried to treat my business like it's a product business or a coaching business or like really trying to marketize it, like, and squeeze it really small. And I think that what I struggle with the most is allowing this gift to just be the fullest expression of what it is. And and I so appreciate you asking me at the beginning to do a reading because I think one of the things I hide behind sometimes is that very thing that I love the most
Mhm.
because of the fear of what is somebody going to say or what are they going to think or am I the weird woo girl now that used to do HR? And so I think a lot of the struggle has just been getting in my own way and making decisions instead of being led.
Well, I love that you went from HR to to what you're creating now, because I there's so like my business mentor, my main mentor, she was a lawyer turned psychic, and but like having the pragmatic stuff is important too, right? Like we have
Oh
to be
yeah.
grounded, and we have to like not be too like out there.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
um so that's great. Let's see. Um, and who helped you navigate through those early years?
Oh, definitely my spiritual community. I think my spiritual teacher for sure. Um, and my family, I think my husband probably was like, I don't know what is happening with you. But he was very supportive at the start too, because he said, like, I can tell you're burnt out. Let's send you on a retreat. Like, go away for a week and figure out what it is that you need. And I think ultimately when I came to him and I was like, this is what I want to do, I felt like I was standing in front of him like two different colored hats, and I was like, pick a hat because both of them, I'm going to do one of them, but like, I want to wear the weird one. And he was like, okay, let's wear the weird one. And so, the pragmatic side of me, I think I'm really thankful for the experience I had in corporate for as long as I had. It was almost 20 years because it has helped me be pragmatic. It has helped me be realistic to build foundations. I think of starting a business, you need to have the basics. I'm a sucker for a spreadsheet, so I'm always spending time in those. But also just knowing like, yeah, it's hard. It's hard and you have to be grounded in it and you have to have people in your corner who are cheering you on and supporting you. And support goes so, I mean, you don't need people to be buying your stuff all the time. Support to me is you liked my post or you commented on it or you shared it or you showed up for me. That's support. And it's funny, I look up some people in my circle who are the closest to me who are not the most supportive, and then some people outside of that circle who are like, like put me in the cart and they push the cart forward and they're like, keep going. And so it's been really interesting to see too.
Mhm. That's awesome. Well, yeah, I love what you said about being authentically you and choosing that. I actually wrote on Substack, I wrote an article earlier this week about coming home to yourself. And it was really that like that same conversation about like I was guilty of it. Like I copied everybody. I was like, I'm gonna do what they're doing. I'm gonna do what they're doing. I'm gonna do what they're
Hmm.
doing. And then
Yeah.
I was just like, I need to do what I'm doing. So,
Yeah.
and I can't tell you how many people like I talk to me who like they find out what I do and they're like, wow, I've never heard of anybody doing that. I'm like,
Yeah,
and there
exactly.
are people out there doing it, but there aren't very many,
Yeah.
and nobody I've met, so I'm like, okay, so um, following my own, my own path and my own, but I'm a bit of a closet artist. I've got painting and sculptures and I definitely do a lot of writing. People know me from that,
Love that.
but I love art. So what would you say somebody who's like who actually that's a great question. So who is maybe a closet artist or who loves to create stuff but is on a different path? What would you say to
Yeah.
them?
Oh, keep painting or keep creating, or I think I'm happy to hear that you are an artist as well. And I would say maybe not even the closet part, like just just do it for you. I think that's one of the things that people need creativity in whatever form it comes to them, whether it's painting or sculpting or cooking or writing or crochet or playing an instrument. And I always say when we're doing therapeutic art that you don't need to show it, share it, or sell it. You just need to make it for you because it is so healing to the body. I think about, I've been in Bible study for a couple of years now, and one of the things that I love the most is that the person in the Bible that received the Spirit first was an artist. And that
Mm,
is so beautiful. When you think about it, like we are here to create. Everything around us is art, and we are nothing without that inspiration and that creativity. So it calms the nervous system, it restores balance, it reduces stress. It is literally like if a doctor could write a prescription for art making, I mean, I think we'd all be different people.
I love that. Great advice. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Heather. This has been such a delightful conversation. I absolutely love your gift and what you're doing with it, and I hope more people take you up on it. I hear you have a gift that you're offering our audience. Will you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I have got a color healing guide or a color healing kit for you to check out. It guides you through just some simple things about some of your favorite colors, what they might mean for you, what it means when you're attracted to a color or repelled by it. Just a little thing to get you started on understanding how to read color in your own life.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, literally out of the corner of my eye is one of my first paintings is like it has the rainbow of colors. So
Oh, love that. Can't wait to see it.
so thank you again. This has been absolutely wonderful. I'm super excited, and we will of course put a link to her free gift and how to get a hold of her. Definitely reach out if you'd like to have your color analysis done. That was pretty cool for me, so I highly recommend it. And thank you everyone for listening. If you receive something from this, please like, subscribe, and share. We just want more people to know they're not alone as we all awaken to a new reality. And if you know anybody that has any weird stuff going on in their home or their business, you can send them to the freehomeclearingquiz.com. Thank you and have a wonderful day.